This pipeline, it's a mistake.
It's the worst thing that can actually go through here.
The Dakota Access Pipeline is a 1,172-mile-long underground oil pipeline spanning 4 states. Energy Transfer Partners, the owners of the project, have stated that the pipeline was needed to improve the overall safety to the public, would help the U.S. to attain energy independence, and was a more reliable method of transport to refineries than rail or road. The company also estimated pipeline construction would provide 8,000 to 12,000 temporary jobs and 40 permanent jobs. Proponents have argued that the pipeline will free up railroads, which will allow farmers to ship more Midwest grain. The pipeline project cost $3.78 billion, which $2.5 billion was financed by loans, while the rest of the capital would be raised by the sale of a 49% stake in Dakota Access LLC to Enbridge and Marathon Petroleum. The loans were provided by a group of 17 banks. While the owners of the pipeline have put in precautions and gone above what the government regulates for safety, there are still those who have spoken out about the pipeline. Greenpeace and a group of more than 160 scientists dedicated to conservation and preservation of threatened natural resources and endangered species have spoken out against. Conservation groups worry about safety and the impacts on air, water, wildlife, and farming because of the possibility of the pipeline breaking. Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement has called the pipeline all risk, no reward, and says the $250,000 bond is fiscally irresponsible. It suggested raising it to at least $1 billion, indexed to inflation, which would match Alaska's precautions of protection. Environmentalists and Native Americans have expressed their fears that the Missouri River might become contaminated in the event of a spill or leak, jeopardizing a source of drinking water and irrigation, water that affects thousands of people who depend on the clean water. They claim that the environmental review that has been performed to analyze the impact of the pipeline on its surroundings was incomplete, claiming that even much smaller, less risky development projects require more rigorous impact analysis than has been completed for the Dakota Access Pipeline. They accuse the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers of approving each stage of the review process and ignoring federal regulations and established treaties between Native American tribes, and claim there is a lack of environmental foresight and consideration. Farmers are concerned about the disturbance of the land, tilling, soil erosion, and soil quality. Iowa fields contain a lot of drain tiles which can be damaged by the pipeline. The company said that they would repair any tiles damaged during construction and place the pipeline 2 feet below drainage tiles. Some farmers were concerned about soil disturbance, but a Dakota Access spokesperson noted that the soil had already been disturbed during the installation of drainage tile in all the contested farms with the pipeline planned to cross. Farmers are also concerned about the leaks in the pipeline caused by destabilization in certain areas prone to flooding, which could cause environmental disaster. The Standing Rock Native American tribe has been a major opposition to the Dakota Access Pipeline. The tribe has opposed the pipeline since first learning about the plans for the pipeline in 2014, but it's only been in recent months that the issue has gained national attention as thousands of protesters, including many Native Americans, have gathered in North Dakota in an attempt to block the project. The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration has reported more than 3,300 incidents of leaks and ruptures at oil and gas pipelines since 2010, and even the smallest spill could damage the tribe's water supply. The Standing Rock tribe also argues that the pipeline traverses a sacred burial ground, and while the land being used for the pipeline is not technically on its reservation, tribal leaders argue that the federal government did not adequately engage the Standing Rock tribe during the permitting process, which is a requirement under federal law. This has led to protests, lawsuits, and police involvement. The fact that the protesters are standing up for what they believe in is protected under the First Amendment as long as the assembly that they are involved in is peaceful. On December 4th, they scored an unexpected victory when the Army Corps of Engineers, a federal agency, announced that it would deny Energy Transfer Partners, the developer of the pipeline, a permit to cross the Missouri River. Thousands of protesters cheered and chanted cries of Mini Wikani, which means water is life. While this decision is not the end of the pipeline, it's a huge victory for the Standing Rock tribe and all other groups protesting and standing up against major corporations.